being able to meet new people, my fellow colleagues at different schools, and the ESPN production crew members is probably the most memorable. Being able to learn a new production software for editing post-production work was also really, really helpful. It's always great to learn new products, new things for other jobs. You never know where you're going to land. Also, being able to work for a different sport was cool. I'm so used to be working with the same ones all the time, so being able to work for golf was interesting and definitely a challenge since I didn't know much about golf, but definitely all around a great experience. I think going back to learning the new software, I think will be helpful. It might lead to other options for us to use down the road. It might be better for us to use the Edius and Stratus software, maybe, perhaps, who knows. So I think being that I know how to use the software will be helpful for me to teach others how to use it. And then, just being able to conduct myself in other aspects of sports is definitely something that I can probably teach to other students when they are on production crews, when they're helping out with even in-studio productions. It's definitely helpful to have that experience with real life, real experience, real professionals. I think my favorite part of the trip probably had to be all the car rides, because they're just definitely fun. And then being able to have that downtime in Magic Kingdom the other night was great. Getting to go on some of the rides, getting to wind down and relax with the four of us had a really great time.
My experience so far has been amazing. It's everything I could ask for. I've learned so much, whether it being editing, filming, and just broadcasting in general. I've learned so much from these ESPN guys, and I couldn't do it without the MAAC. Probably the main thing I'll take away from this experience so far is definitely filming with strategy. When I did film at Marist, I kind of just shot and looked for the good stuff, but I learned that filming with the strategy, having a game plan going into it will definitely make things a lot easier for whether me being the editor or someone else being an editor. Other than going to Magic Kingdom, definitely watching and seeing how golf really is covered. This is my first golf event, so just seeing how everything is kind of broadcasted and how everything goes down filming-wise, it was definitely a great experience to learn. Definitely something I can take back here is definitely filming with a game plan. I know a lot of the kids back at Marist usually just film looking for highlights and things like that, which makes it kind of hard for editors because they don't know what kind of story they have since they're not there. So definitely filming with the game plan, writing down notes. I learned a lot about note-taking, how it definitely goes a long way into editing.
My experiences here have been great. From shooting highlights to editing, I've learned a lot. Shooting highlights isn't a thing I usually do back at the school, but doing it here now today, it's something I want to start doing. And I learned a lot from trial and error on the first day. We got it done. It was a little rough. But then from learning from that on the first day to the second day, it was awesome because we were able to improve just so much. I'm excited to bring back two things, I would say. Color correcting, something I never really got into, but wow, can it fix a shot? It was a great tool in post. And the other was note-taking, especially in the real world. A lot of times the person shooting the stuff is not the person editing. So taking those detailed notes is important to make the editor's job easier and not take hours and hours. It would cut time if you take good notes. I liked a lot of things about this trip, one being the weather. We've had a long winter in the Northeast, so the weather was nice. Got to see some wildlife, even though I'm terrified of the gators and the loose bobcat. I haven't seen the bobcat yet, though. Hopefully it stays that way. And honestly, going to the hotel, turning on the TV and seeing my footage on the ESPN channel was awesome. And the studio was great. It's hard to believe almost that you're actually in the ESPN studio or shooting for ESPN. It seems so unreal.
I had a great experience here. I learned so much. It was not what I was expecting at all, but I think I'm coming away with a lot. I definitely liked when we went to the ESPN studio. It was really cool to see how a real studio worked and kind of how people work on a daily basis doing editing or doing the graphics or preparing for the game day experience. I also loved all of the team dinners that we did where we all got together and we would eat with the MAAC staff and we all just got to hang out. It was a lot of fun, just meeting new people and comparing the accents that we have, which I definitely don't have, but everyone else has an accent, and just the different stuff that we do at our schools for our ESPN broadcasts. It was cool to get different perspectives. I learned a lot of editing. It was really cool to go from shooting the footage during the day and then coming back to the ESPN studio in the afternoon, and we got a lot of hands-on experience where we got to drive a lot and just edit our own footage that we shot ourselves and then put it all together, and to be able to see our footage later on in the day. We could see it on the MAAC put it on Twitter, and then we saw it on the TVs at the Disney hotels later. It was just cool to see all of our work kind of paid off.